What's up, guys? Houseplant here, going to be bringing you Blade Master's final game in the Attila Flash Wolf Flash tournament, and he's going to be fighting up against Odessa. I do have Houseplant with me. Or wait, have I got the roles reversed? No.
No. You got it. Well, actually, it's diplomat. It's diplomat.
All right, yeah, it's diplomat who's playing Attila for the first time in fucking ages. No. This is yet another episode of the Houseplant Kicking Ass series. I think this is episode number 6. This is the game 1 of the best of 5 finals in the Wolf Flash tournament, and of course I have Houseplant with me to commentate. I think I'll bring him for all the all the 5 games that are in the finals.
Or will it be 5?
Exactly. Massive spoilers that that was uttered just like a few seconds ago. Anyways, let's see, what are the factions? You have brought the Alans or the Langobards?
I have brought both the Alans and the Langobards.
Wow, Alani Langobards. Langobards. Yes. You brought the Langobards, haven't you?
I have.
And let's go over your build.
Alright. On each flank, I have a Noble Germanic Horseman backed up by a Godensman, and a Germanic Lancer backed up by a Godin's Chosen. For skirmishers, I have 4 Germanic Hurlers up front, and 2 Germanic Archers, held in a little bit of a safer position. Then I've got 2 Germanic Lancers in the center, backed up by a Godin's Warlord and a Godin's Chosen. And then, sort of between my flanks and my center, I have 2 Godin's Men just hanging out.
Okay. So, if you guys thought that this him going over his army was very succinct and to the point, that's because there's the second take. In the first take, Houseplant just chose not to pause the game and decided to let.
Well, you said unpause.
I said I'm going to start recording. I said I'm going to start. I don't know how you would confuse that with unpause. Right. But okay, let's go over this again. This is an interesting choice that I pointed out earlier. This is the fact that you've brought 2 Germanic Lancers up in front, even though they'll have to pass through multiple lines of skirmishers, and then there's a big chance of them getting their charges wasted. So why exactly did you bring these 2 guys?
Because they can sort of use these skirmishers as a screening force in lieu of heavy infantry. Because as my opponent is sort of navigating the minefield of various skirmish forces, he's likely to leave an opening, which these Lancers are very good at exploiting. Mm-hmm. And if he overcommits with cavalry, Lancers will do a better job of exploiting that overcommitment by quickly killing off the cavalry than something like melee cavalry will.
True. And so from what I understand, you're keeping these guys more for the late game purposes, like mid to late game purposes.
Right.
You're not going to engage them immediately. Okay.
Yeah, if I put them they're up, they'll just die. Exactly. Which is fine, but like,
and I mean, you've already got a couple of Germanic Lancers on the flanks, who are going to do exactly that.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so Odessa with the Alans has brought 4 Germanic Hurlers and 1 Germanic Bow. He's brought a couple of Germanic Pikes. He's brought a total of 4 Elite Agathyrsi, 2 on either flank, and a couple of regular Agathyrsi in the center, and 4 Noble Alani Cav, 2 on either flank, 2 Noble Germanic Horsemen, kind of in the center, and an Alani General with a single silver. Which is a strange choice because honestly, there's no real reason to upgrade a shock cav, especially when you have. Yeah, it's much better if he just uses the upgrades on Noble Alani or Noble Germanic.
Well, especially because you can then spread them out and get the extra bonuses from the very first chevron.
True. Would you would you prefer spreading single upgrades over a multitude of units, or just restricting it solely to a couple of cavalry units?
I like to spread it out as much as possible. Usually, I'll put 1 chevron on all my melee units before I, I'll even put a chevron on Elite Palatina before I, go and start stacking them up on the Armored Gear Defensores, which are definitely a much better unit to upgrade than Elite Palatina.
Yeah, because I mean,
but the fact that you get 2
exactly, that's what I was going to say. Economically speaking, having a single upgrade is more beneficial than having anything over a single upgrade, because it gives you +2 to like almost all the stats. I mean, all the stats that experience upgrades affects.
So, melee attack and defense, not morale though.
Not oh, it doesn't affect morale.
You only get 1 morale. You
Ah,
only get
okay.
one morale.
Which is the same as other experience upgrades.
Right.
So
Right.
basically, it's just better having a single. In terms of effectiveness, having one XP upgrade is much better than any other. Of course, with 4 and with rank 6, I believe you get the extra stamina boost. But if you guys want to
Yes.
hear more about stamina, then I think I have a video like long time ago which is called like getting the right XP for your units. Just a minor little shout out to my own channel, of course. That's very classy. Anyways, let's go ahead and unpause and press play. By the way, in 3, 2, 1.
All right.
Okay, so you used the Celts extensively earlier on in this tournament. Why haven't you picked the Celts with the first game?
Because he had map choice, and this map, this terrible map, it's the bait of competitive multiplayer, is even worse for the Celts than it is for most actions.
Yeah, because I mean,
I'm not a fan of this map at all, but people like to play on it. You gotta know how to play on it.
yeah, 95% of anyone who plays multiplayer plays in either Nemetosena in Rome 2 or Kariskos in Attila. Just no, it's the more competitive you would figure that the more competitive you get and the better player you are, you would want to utilize tactics more, which is what this game was meant to be. But I guess people just I mean, it kind of deviates into who picks the better army, and since you want to see your opponent's army and his moves all the time, then I guess you just want to have a plain field, which is kind of shitty.
I don't know. I just think it's kind of funny when people are like, "Oh my God, the Burgundians are so OP," and then it's playing every game on literally perfect terrain. But there are no Royal Lancers in this game, so I will shut up about the Burgundians.
No, it's in many cases you just see that people completely forget about the fact that many tournaments give the attacker the map choice. So he gets to pick factions first, which is what everyone complains about, and they say like, yeah, it's unfair. But then most tournaments also give you map choice too, which is something no one ever utilizes, because again, like we said, it's just they want to see the opponent's army at all times, and they just forego tactics or forest ambushes for that.
Yeah, no, I would much rather have map choice.
Yeah.
On this patch than faction. First pick of the faction.
Oh, in Attila in general, I think having map choice is huge, because Attila stealth mechanics are so crazy. Like, Attila stealth mechanics are amazing. This is like probably my favorite aspect of Attila is the way stealth works, and the huge departure from Rome 2 stealth.
I have no idea what you're talking about, because I don't know about Rome 2 stealth. I do like the way stealth works.
Oh, you haven't played any Rome 2 multiplayer?
I've played Rome 2 multiplayer. I've played in like 1 or 2 tournaments. But yeah, I was just in Rome 2. I was just that guy who loads into the battle, takes 8 Avocati cohorts, and then
the guy everyone loved to hate.
Does his best to win. I was that scumbag.
Okay.
And then I play Attila, and I play these guys who are bringing way too much cavalry, and I'm like, oh, that's what it felt like when I was doing that to people.
So back to the battle. We have your 2 Germanic hurlers firing into noble Germanic horsemen. Are you focusing fire? You are kind of, you are basically focusing fire, which is good.
I'm also throwing some fire into the pikes, but I mean, it doesn't really matter which I shoot at this point.
Yeah.
And he's making an overextension with his noble Alani. Well, I actually like this move by the noble Alani cavalry, because he's
kind
drawing,
of a feint, right?
Right. Yeah, he's drawing about 800 talents worth of units out with this 700 talent unit. Which would be very nice.
True, but I mean, that's leaving this Elite Agathar side completely undefended.
Yeah, this is a huge mistake. But I also make a huge mistake with these Godin's men. I just had them. I had an attack order on those Godin's men back when I was trying to intercept.
They get a pretty decent charge. I mean, sure. I mean, this is a very similar fate for both of these. Your Godin's men and the Elite Agathar side both are suffering from cavalry charges. He's bringing his noble Alani to support, though, which is not something you're doing in that engagement. But here, it's the flanks are going much better for you. You have your Gordonsman so close by. He's overextended with his cavalry there. Germanic Lance is getting slaughtered by Agathar side.
His noble Alani is okay. There they are going for the rear charge off on their right.
That's a smart move. But, I mean, you've got your Germanic Lances there.
Right. For the most part, I'm pretty happy about how these engagements are going. Aside from this one way out on the right, though. Yeah, I'm just, if I can the Langobards versus Alani matchup is such that if you can get the
Noble
cavalry
Alani,
into infantry, sort
yeah.
of, if the Alans can't spread the battle out, you're gonna win most of the time.
Yeah, because Gordon's men would
Um,
defeat regular Ghatharsai, and
right,
Gordon's chosen would slaughter elite
and Alita
Ghatharsai.
Gotharsai.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
if you throw in Noble Germanic plus Godin's men into like Oblolani plus Alita Gotharsai, the Langobards are gonna win that fight most of the time.
And it's a good engagement for the Langobards in general. And speaking of good engagements,
Right.
your Gordon's Warlord is going to just clean up house there, because this was really
Yeah.
a good engagement here. You brought your Germanic Lancers, sure they're going to get destroyed by Noble Alani and whatever, but you brought your Gordon's Warlord with Brace, by the way. So they've gotten 25 kills on really expensive cavalry. Your Germanic archers are going to be a really big, charge bait there for the Noble Germanic, I mean. They charge into them, but then they also get into your Gordon's men.
Yeah, the Godin's men they would be completely flattened if the Germanic archers hadn't taken a bullet for them there, though.
Because
so.
I mean, even like 5 cavalry units that are stopped by a Germanic Lancer or Germanic Archer, it means like maybe 30 less casualties for your Gordon's men. I mean, just roughly speaking. Here, Noble Alani on the flanks charging, destroying some Gordon's men. You're doing the same with your guy. Ooh, his gen. Yeah, Alani General, that single silver, man. He spent so much money on them. They haven't done shit. They've gotten 52 kills.
Yeah.
Really not done much.
He's gonna
That's
get
why you don't put experience upgrades on shock cavalry, let alone the shock cavalry general. Gordon's man, 158 kills, destroying elite Ghatharsai, man. Holy crap. Ghatharsai really are kind of underwhelming in my opinion. I mean, they are just as vulnerable to charges, but they don't do as well as other shock infantry types.
Well, and Falk's units match up terribly against Berserkers just generally, because they're so squishy.
Right.
Which means that the Godin's men can get a bunch of kills really, really fast. The shock infantry may be getting a bunch of kills, but the Godin's men are going to go berserk really fast and just kill everything in extended melee.
Yeah, we can probably see that here. Your Gordon's men, 25 units left. They're taking a shit ton of casualties, but they're also getting a lot of kills on elite Ghatharsai. So that's really the gist of it. Like, sure, your guys will take a ton of damage from the charge from the elite Ghatharsai, but you can be rest assured that they will win those engagements pretty handily.
Yeah, and it's whenever I'm playing against a faction where I think they're going to bring a bunch of really squishy infantry, I like to bring
by the way, could you move
closer
to your mic? I think you're getting a bit soft.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is that better?
So what were you saying?
Whenever it's a matchup where my opponent's going to be bringing a bunch of these squishy infantry, I like to bring berserkers, even if it's like a berserker unit I wouldn't normally bring, like Scottish teachers. Very good unit, but just
they're too few in number.
Cost enough.
They're like 60 or something.
If they cost twice as much and had twice as many men in the unit, it would be insane. But
yeah, it looks like the first game's yours with the Langobards. Victory. Well played. The Langobards are very safe, or at least were a very safe pick in this tournament. In general, in most tournaments, they're a very safe, very strong pick. Perfect faction to start off strong in a final. So yeah, I mean the Alans kind of, in my opinion, until a couple of days ago, I would think that the Alans are on par with them, but honestly, like I just don't see it right now. Like the Alans, really squishy units. Noble Alani are okay, but against a faction that has Gordon's men and Gordon's chosen and ORs and blah blah blah. There's really, I would even say that there's no point in bringing Noble Alani, because once the infantry support comes in, they're just as good as dead, regardless of what cavalry type you bring. So yeah, speaking about the Langobards, when the pack released, I played like one quick battle and I got slaughtered by Gordon's men, Gordon's chosen. But then for like a week or so, everyone was just raving about the clubman because of that like 45 bonus for his infantry, and I just kept thinking, I mean, those guys are not versatile at all. Like, in shield wall, they need to be in shield wall, and this only affects enemy infantry, whereas you have a unit that's just so deadly and has berserk and can destroy cavalry and infantry equally as easily. So why wouldn't you guys be bringing that? So for like a good 1 week, I don't know if this happened to you, but for a good 1 week, the Langobard army was just a shit ton of Langobard clubmen, the whatever it's called, retinue, the redoubtable chieftain, or whatever.
Yeah, without
And,
rotation.
yeah, and just like some cavalry, some regular cavalry. This is pretty strange.
Yeah, the thing I don't like about the clubmen is if I'm going to bring a heavy infantry center, I want it to be able to withstand a cavalry charge, which most heavy infantry can do.
Mm.
People talk all about how much infantry gets wrecked, but you can trade cost effectively if you have like a unit in shield wall, a unit in defensive testudo, Antisignani, Warband, all these units.
Yeah.
You're perfectly happy if they get charged by cavalry,
Yeah, it'll take
as long as
multiple
they're
cavalry
in shield
charges
wall
to destroy
brace.
them. Yeah.
Right. Um, but the Langobard clubmen have like 10. Their weapons are like 10 base damage, 1 armor piercing damage.
Right.
So they rely entirely on their bonus from this infantry.
Exactly.
And they just don't do damage to cavalry.
Yeah. Two
So,
one-dimensional a unit for anyone to really
right.
bring. Anyways, guys, that's the end of game 1. Stay tuned for game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5. Who knows how many games that are going to be played in this
Game
fight?
6.
Oh, maybe. Hey, stay tuned for more. Peace.